I was rewiring my brain through music. This song is my promise to myself that I would release it and record all the instruments and do it all and have it out on the for the year anniversary. Yeah,
Wow.
which is this weekend. So I did it. Basically, I woke up 6 days later from a coma, and my whole life had changed. This song is basically the story and what I went through while I was in a coma, and it was basically a promise I made to myself to relearn. Apart from walking and talking, that's whatever, but playing music. I had a brain hemorrhage. I do remember realizing I couldn't move my hand and I couldn't feel it, and I was hitting it with this hand, and it was just you could put a knife through it and I wouldn't have known. Maybe they brought a guitar in and it wasn't good. I would have put myself at where someone who was learning guitar would be after 6 months maybe. And for me, who, I've played my entire life, it was, it was scary.
Like that must have been heartbreaking.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
I couldn't listen to music for a long time.
Yeah. Okay. And how did you, did you push yourself to do all of this?
I just forced myself to do it.
Yeah, wow.
Yeah,
right.
yeah. So I got up every day and just picked up the guitar and sat and basically did what I did the first time around and just did it. I had no one that I related to when I got out and kind of started researching what happened to me. I couldn't find a musician who had gone through it or someone I could relate to and kind of hang on and go, all right, well, if that person can do it, I can do it. And I'm not trying to be that person, but if I am that person and they get something out of it, that's amazing.
Yeah. I think it's just an inevitable consequence of it happening to you that people can draw strength from that, and no one wants to go through a difficult situation so that they can be that person.
I don't recommend doing it.
Strength from. If you're looking for song ideas,
it's 2 stars.
You could go through an arduous process for several years, and
just go the tried and true road and just break up with someone and write about it.
The Phil Collins way. Hey everyone, welcome back to the Good Vibes Show with Marie Hopkinson, and today I'm interviewing Laurie Luke from Perth. I'm from Perth. Welcome to Perth.
Thanks. It's good to be here.
Yeah, we have people from all over the world watching this.
Amazing.
So,
cool.
And I want to let you know to subscribe. This is the time to let you know that. So if you're new to the show and you haven't clicked the subscribe button or the notification bell on YouTube, make sure you do that. And if you're listening on Apple or Spotify, you can rate us, and that would really help to share the show and support the show. So I hope you enjoy what we're going to talk about today. I'm very excited to interview you. Well, you've got something really exciting coming up in the pipeline. As we're recording this, it's going to be tomorrow.
Yes.
Yeah, you've got a new song.
New song, brand new.
Yep, and you sent it to me and it was lovely to listen to.
Oh, thank you.
I actually had a... when I was listening to it, a moment, because I get sent lots of music, like doing this show now, and I it's like listening to people's stuff, and I like to listen to things with no preempt and like, oh, what is this, right? Just listen to the music, and it's a kind of a weird thing because you don't really get to do that very often. Because normally when you listen to a song, you think, oh, I might like this because of some reason.
Okay.
So it's kind of a unique thing, right? Isn't it? When you
absolutely
get something, you're like, what is it? And I was like, oh, so I had my headphones on. I was walking from my car to work, and I was like, oh, so relaxing. Peaceful, like 2 seconds, 3 seconds, 4 seconds, and then boom, the full band comes in.
Yeah.
So spoiler alert. But it was such a great song, and that was very unexpected and
good,
kind of cool.
That's good. Perfect.
Yeah, awesome. So the song's called Long Way Home.
Yes.
And I hear that you have been on a long way home.
Yep, still going.
Yeah, and that's a kind of a journey. So
Yeah.
maybe we can talk a bit about that
Yeah,
today if you're happy to
sure.
talk about that.
Yeah.
Cool. So we'll put your links below. You've got it's out on Spotify.
Yeah, it's on
Everywhere.
all the places,
Yep.
I guess. Yeah.
Apple Music,
Apple Music,
YouTube.
YouTube. Yeah, just Google it and
Yep.
it'll pop up.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Cool. So you can go and have a listen to that, and yeah, support your music. All right. It kind of gave me a bit of a, I know Silverchair and Maroon 5 kind of vibe.
Wow,
when I was
Maroon
listening to
5. I haven't heard that one before.
Well, like just the voice, right?
Wow, okay.
I don't know. That's what I first
Look,
thought.
okay, yeah, cool.
Not. I hope you don't take that as a.
No.
I hope that's okay to say that.
It's fine. I'll take the Silverchair one
Yeah.
for sure, yeah.
And yeah, you've got a lot of stuff going on in the songs. Are you playing all of those?
I play
instruments?
everything you hear on there. Yeah.
Wow, so you're like a Phil Collins of.
Oh,
today.
I can't, what is it? I can't dance, but
Yeah.
I can...
I can play every instrument. That was bad.
Yeah, that's what he should have wrote.
Yeah.
That's Susudia.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. So everything you basically so you just like layer that all up when you.
Yeah,
when
just
you do it.
multi-track it and piece by piece, literally, and put the jigsaw together.
Yeah, I would never have picked that from listening to it. Like,
Yeah,
it
thank you.
It
That's
feels
good.
like this is a
band.
live band.
Yeah.
Like everyone's playing together in sync here.
I that's normally how I do it. But normally I'll have a drummer or someone on keyboards or something that I can't play, like a saxophone, which was on my last EP. But I thought, considering everything that I'd been through, I would just make it harder on myself and
Yep.
play drums as well.
Yeah, fair enough. Well, you've nailed it.
Thanks.
You've put your drummer out of business. Awesome. So yeah, it gave me a very real live feel experience.
Great.
Which is then why I was like, oh, I think this isn't. When I looked up your bio and stuff, I was like, I think he's playing every single instrument on this.
Yeah. Yeah.
Awesome. All right. Cool. So let's talk about your journey towards this song.
Yep.
And what's been going on in your life to kind of inspire you to write this song.
So it all began. It could have been a Friday or a Saturday night. It was just a regular weekend, and my partner was off to the pub to meet friends. And as you do, you say goodbye and have a good night and all that kind of thing. And I received a phone call an hour later, and from her friend saying that she didn't turn up. Obviously, I was quite worried because of it, and the trip would have only been a 20-minute trip, so straight away all the worries are running around your head. So we're going back and forth and trying to figure out what's happened. And I'll try condense it down.
You can take as long as you want.
Yeah, I can take some time.
Yeah.
But anyway, I ended up receiving a call from a firefighter, and he said that she'd been in a hit and run car accident.
Oh wow.
Which was basically out the front of the pub. So I raced to the hospital, Royal Perth, and so I went into emergency, and she was there and not in a good way, and I just felt faint, and I have a weird thing with hospitals anyway. I'm not a fan.
Yeah.
They can do with a bit of music and a bit of colour here and there. It'd be nice.
Yeah. It's a very strange place for sickness, isn't it?
It's the complete opposite of health and well-being. It's just stale and bright and very clinical, and it's not nice. Anyway, so I felt faint and I could feel tunnel vision, which is, when I look back, something I've had throughout my life and I ignored. So I remember saying to her, look, I'm going to pass out, I think. So I was on my knees because it had happened a few times. So I was an expert in how to fall over without hurting yourself. But unfortunately, so I fell over and I kind of came to, and I was on a bed covered in wires, and my shirt was ripped off and I was shaking and all these things were happening. And then I don't remember well, I'm going to go on tangents and forget things, and there's a few issues going on. But so anyway, basically I woke up 6 days later from a coma, and my whole life had changed. I'd had a brain hemorrhage, and the procedure was a craniotomy, which removes part of your skull. So with the hemorrhage, while I was hemorrhaging, the pressure was building up. They've got to release that pressure, so they take the skull off and fix it up. But while they were in there looking at it, they discovered all these other things that I'd been walking around with, called an AVM.
Wow.
So that's your veins and circuit board. Like if you're a regular Joe Bloggs, they would be kind of, they would run parallel and nice and all that kind of thing. Mine would, like guitar leads, twisted and knotted. Yeah. So that's what.
Is that like a arteriovenous
yes.
like anastomosis sort of thing where they join in together?
And it was just this
like
big
venous blood going into arterial blood, and
I don't know about that much, but I just know it was, it wasn't good.
Yeah, right.
So they removed all of that, and put my skull back in and stapled me up, and I kind of woke up and
right, wow,
begin the new life.
That would have been scary.
It was. It was scary, but it wasn't scary because you're a stranger in your own head.
And what about your girlfriend?
She had broken ribs, broken pelvis, but she's okay.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah. So she's a musician, and she's back playing shows and doing really well.
Okay. Oh, so that's good to know.
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah, but still, it's hard to two people recovering.
Yeah, it was strange, and it was in the middle of the COVID hysteria as well. So, and it was quite full on because she was on the floor below me, and they wouldn't even allow her to visit.
Oh wow.
Yeah, which was a bit over the top. So that's the general kind of twist.
And what were you thinking when you woke up from the coma?
Like I said, I can't remember what I was thinking, but I do remember realizing I couldn't move my hand, and I couldn't feel it, and I was hitting it with this hand, and it was just you could put a knife through it, and I wouldn't have known, and that was getting to me.
Yeah.
And I hadn't seen myself in the mirror yet.
Okay.
So, and I was just in almost a panic kind of mode, and I was trying to escape all the time, and I couldn't.
Escape out of the hospital.
Yeah, and I couldn't even walk yet, and I didn't even know I couldn't walk.
Okay.
So I was restrained in the bed.
Yeah.
I know that because every time I got up, and then I finally realised.
Yeah.
What was going on?
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
It must have been hard, like realizing your hand, because
it was devastating.
Being a musician.
Yeah, I was freaking out.
Your thing.
Yeah, big time.
Yeah.
And just speaking, I couldn't speak properly. So I had to start from zero, basically.
Yeah. Wow. So how long has it been now since that till now?
It will be a year in 3 days.
Wow.
Yeah.
Right. So this song is like the story of that?
This
that
song
journey?
is basically the story and what I went through while I was in a coma, and it was basically a promise I made to myself
Yeah.
to relearn. Apart from walking and talking, that's whatever, but playing music.
Yeah, right.
That was the big one.
Yeah.
So this song is my promise to myself that I would release it and record all the instruments and do it all and have it out on the for the year anniversary. Yeah,
Wow.
which is this weekend. So I did it.
And so when you like started back at music, like
Yeah.
back after your initial like rehab and stuff,
Yeah.
were you able to play? Like, what were you able to do on the guitar?
They brought a guitar because I bounced around hospitals.
Yeah.
I think I was in three different hospitals. And on the second one, maybe they brought a guitar in, and it wasn't good. I would have put myself at where someone who is learning guitar would be after 6 months, maybe. And for me, who, I've played my entire life, it was, it was scary. And just because you can do it, but you can't do it, and it's just this really weird, strange thing.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. And then even listening to music, that was a rough ride as well, because I've spoken to a few people about it. It's, and you might relate, doing art and stuff. Like if music was a painting, and we look at that and go, that's what music is. That's that painting on the canvas, right? So when you look at it, you see that, and it's all there. But if I'm looking at it, it looked as if someone had cut the canvas up into 100 pieces and thrown it in the air.
Wow.
That's what music sounded like to me.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. Nothing was
Like
in
songs
time.
that you knew were
Oh
familiar,
yeah,
you
like stuff
sounded-
that's in my DNA, like the Beatles and Jimi Hendrix,
wow.
and I'd put it on, and I had no sense of time. Things were just out of place,
But you could know that you knew that you had no sense of time.
Yeah.
Right, rather than just not
well, I
having
was
it.
kind of tapping along, and I just couldn't get it. Yeah.
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 Wow,
it's
that's
like those
that's
people at
so
concerts
bizarre.
who try and chase it.
The one that there's always one clapping off.
Yeah.
And they're so excited they don't even know.
That was me.
Yeah. Yeah, that's why I asked you if you knew, because
Yeah.
it's kind of a sweet ignorance of bliss if you don't know, but if you know, and especially being going from professional to like
nothing.
you said, to 6 months in level, like that must have been heartbreaking.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
I couldn't listen to music for a long time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. And how did you did you push yourself to do all of this?
I just forced myself to do it.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So I got up every day and just picked up the guitar and sat and basically did what I did the first time around and just did it.
And did they say, like, did you know from your injury that you damaged that area of your brain that was relating to music? Is that why you couldn't play?
No one really talked about that with me, to be honest. I've got to go back into hospital next week.
Yeah.
So I'll ask. Yeah.
Like, are you familiar
We'll
with
find out.
Norman Doidge's research?
No.
Oh,
No.
wow. Because I think that's probably what you've done to yourself.
Okay.
Like, he's got a book called The Brain That Changes Itself.
Yeah,
Norman
right.
Doidge, right?
Okay.
And he's got this, there's a documentary, I don't know how, if I can find it, I'll send you a link to it.
Yeah, I'd love to.
But he had this presupposition, which was before they thought of this thing called neuroplasticity.
Yeah.
Right, where they basically thought, well, he's like the father of neuroplasticity in
Okay.
a way. Because he kind of said, well, hang on a minute, like, people who've had these traumatic injuries, and he's got this weird machine that he made. I don't know how he come up with it. It's bizarre. You can see it in the documentary, where he put this device on people's heads and a thing that connected to their tongue, and he was rewiring their optical ability in their brain. So these are people that had an injury and they couldn't see anymore, but he was using their sense of taste to teach them how to see.
Wow.
Right?
Yeah.
And part of it is, like, I've seen this with people with stroke rehabilitation and stuff,
Okay.
where they just force themselves to continue to do what they know they can do.
Yeah.
And actually what they might be doing, I mean, you wouldn't know this unless you had an MRI and sort of could see the before and after, but you might be actually forcing your brain to access another area that's never used before for music, which is essentially learning it again from scratch.
Yeah.
Right?
Rewiring.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I've heard of neuroplasticity. But yeah, I think you're onto it.
Yeah,
for
I mean,
sure.
it seems like you should get a PhD as well as your album.
Yeah.
You might have
Baby steps, I think.
Yeah. No, but I mean, like you're kind of like, you've created your own therapy in a way. Because did someone tell you to do all this, or you just decided to do it yourself?
Everybody encouraged it, for sure.
Yep.
Yeah, like I could. It's who I am. So I could colour in pictures or do whatever the general.
Yep.
I don't know.
Like I could draw a triangle and a circle.
Yeah, and I did those things,
Yeah.
and I played with Play-Doh, and I did the mind tests, and I did all that stuff. But I think the biggest help, honestly, is music. Yeah, right. 100%. Yeah.
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 And did you just go about trying to learn your instruments and everything again, or did you do some other music therapy or some kind of therapy?
No, I just everything completely on my own.
Right.
Yeah.
Wow.
Just sat there and just pushed and got through it.
Yeah. Right.
I've still got a way to go. Like recording's one thing.
Yeah.
Playing live's the next one.
And before this, were you playing live?
Yeah, playing gigs and touring and doing it, and I had a jam just last night, and a few other like kind of hangout jams with mates, and I kind of realised how far I've got to go to get to where I was before.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's interesting because some of the ways I play are different.
Yeah.
Like I've picked up.
Different? Better?
Yeah, some of the things are cool.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just little things that I didn't do before, I'm doing them.
Yeah.
I don't know whether they're better or not.
Well, but it's interesting to think about that, right? Like like there's so many areas of your brain people don't use. And by forcing yourself to use a different area of your brain, you might like become a super musician that you never would have become before.
You can only try get some Phil Collins.
Well, exactly. Like, where can you go from there?
To the Lion King.
Yeah. All right. That's amazing. I mean, like, what a story, and what a like, you must have a lot of just self-determination.
Yeah, and stubbornness.
Yep.
Yeah.
But that's good though. Good stubbornness put in the right way.
Yeah. I just can't imagine life without playing music.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so what do you think like music does for you that nothing else could replace that? Like obviously you were driven to get back to the music. You were like, I can't just live my life without this.
Yeah. I've never thought about what it actually does for me. It just is, I'm just obsessed with it. I always have been, and I've never questioned why or. It's always there for you, and you can use it like, to change your mood, enhance your mood. It's just, it's like painting. It's just colours. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if any of that makes sense.
No, it does. It makes complete sense. Because I ask everyone that question, and everyone's got a different answer, but also slightly similar.
Okay.
Like most people say, they just can't live without it.
Yeah.
It's just part of who they are.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like, maybe that was when you had the accident, and you were like, I just need to get this back because I can't live without this. Like, it's so important to me, but we almost take it for granted because it's just there, right?
It's like breathing.
Yeah. When did you start learning music? When you were a kid?
Yeah,
Playing
I picked up a
something?
guitar when I was 11, I think.
Yep.
Yeah, and I was just obsessed with guitar.
Yep.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
completely.
And I think that's like if it's always been around you when you were a kid, you can't imagine a life really without it because it's always been there.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah, yeah, yeah. It
Like,
was a big thing, and I wouldn't be happy just watching other people do it,
yeah.
knowing that I could,
Yeah.
I could do that.
Could give them for a run
Yeah.
with their money.
Oh well, we'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see.
But being participatory in it, like I've also read some studies about like the dopamine release and things like
Yeah.
that people get that you don't get from just listening to music.
Okay.
People get a high and an experience from listening to music, but
Mm-hmm.
actually, like there's a difference between like you playing on your own and you playing with somebody else.
Yeah.
Once two or three or more are involved in the playing,
Mm-hmm.
this is actually why one of the reasons why people get a good feeling from going to church and singing,
Yeah. Yeah.
because the group
It's just
involvement,
amplified.
right? Like,
Yeah.
and why people love going to gigs.
Yeah.
Well, hopefully they love going to gigs, but that why they kind of might be missing out on something by not going to gigs, because when you love that artist so much and you sing along,
Yeah.
and you're like, oh wow, like everyone was,
Yeah.
the crowd was singing and I was involved in it. Like, there's something that you can't get any other way. Like that's a special kind of
Yeah.
high that people can get.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the best drug.
Yeah.
Yeah. For sure.
Yeah. So since this accident, have you still got like stuff that you have to like rehabilitate, like
Oh
with
yeah,
your-
I was
with your-
just a
with your
physio
body?
today. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's so there's a few different aspects to it. So there's the physical stuff, and then there's the what's happening now, where my brain just stops working, and the more I kind of chase ideas or words, they just stop. So that I got. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I should have been working on that instead of playing guitar.
Oh, mate, it sounds all right to me. Like,
But that's the thing.
I
Like,
don't think I'd
I
know.
can kind of get away with stuff, and you might not know. But
yeah,
like, I'm learning about it. I'm learning about it all as well. So, neurofatigue.
yes,
That's massive.
Yeah.
And I had no idea. Like, I'd heard things before and thought, like, no, yeah, whatever.
yeah, you do, don't you? You think,
Yeah.
oh, just push on through. What's
Yeah,
wrong
and
with
then
you?
until
Like,
you're
but-
in it, it's
yeah.
just like, oh, if there's more than 3 people, I struggle. Like, if there were 3 of us here,
Yeah.
it's more energy. I have to use in my brain to keep up in a conversation.
Yeah,
You know.
that must be partly why it's hard with gigs and
Yeah.
more people and just more
Yeah.
things in the mix, and then
Yeah.
the normal nerves of being on stage and live
Yeah.
performance and wanting to do a good job and
So
everything.
that's the next one though.
Yeah.
So I'll just rewire that.
Yeah.
And keep going.
Yeah, wow.
Yeah.
I mean, you're obviously, whatever you're doing is working. Like you've got whatever system you're using. Like some people go to spend a lot of money on therapists to tell them what you're probably just naturally doing yourself.
Yeah, well, that's a good thing, I guess. I could answer with the last question. It's therapy. Music's therapy.
Yeah.
You know. Yeah.
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 That's what it is.
Yeah.
And communication. You know.
What like how did it go from, you said when you were listening to the music it was like all like a jigsaw jumbled out or
Yeah.
whatever, and did you just keep forcing yourself to endure the sound that was hard to listen to and
Yeah.
it eventually came back, or
Yeah.
did you have to do something specific?
No, it was just every day listening and just trying to find that count and just
Yep.
stick with it.
Yeah.
You know.
I mean, as a producer, that must have been also on another level very worrisome, because your ears are your life
yeah.
in that way,
Yeah.
right? To be able to hear the sounds that should or shouldn't be there.
Yeah,
or,
that's it. And yeah, it's just I guess another way of putting it would be like like in a Pro Tools or recording session, and you've got all your tracks lined up. If you just nudged everything out randomly
Yeah.
and then hit play,
Yeah.
that's what it sounded like.
Yeah.
That's the best way I can explain it.
Right.
Yeah. And every time, sometimes that comes back, and I freak out a little bit, and yeah, I don't know. There's lots of things with the brain that it's like a permanent acid trip, you know.
And did the doctors ever tell you why you were experiencing music like that?
I actually talked with the guy who did the procedure, and I was telling him all these things that are going on.
Yeah.
And there's many, like just a weird one. If I touch my eyebrow here, I get like a weird pain sensation on the top of my skull here.
Yeah. Right.
So I was telling him that and a few other weird things that are going on. And the brain is that complex. Like, even a neurosurgeon looks at me and he's like, "Well, look, mate, brains are pretty weird." You know, I hear all sorts of things.
That's not what you want to hear from
the guy who did it.
That's your job.
Yeah. Yeah, I hope he didn't drop anything in there either, you know.
Like a Seinfeld episode, like a bit went inside you.
Yeah. Yeah.
What have you done? Yeah, all right, yeah. Wow. Yeah. Wow. So what I want to ask you as well, like, obviously this song is a kind of a special song about the journey that you've gone through. Yeah. Do you think that this experience has changed the kind of music that you want to make, or is it similar music to what you were doing before?
No, it's still the same stuff. Like, it is and it isn't, you know. I'm very broad with what I do. So, I don't know. With this song, it kind of came together as, like, I didn't chase or think ideas through and go, I want it to be like this. But it's kind of nice that it's a big kind of massive rock song.
Yeah.
Because I've showed a couple friends and they all say the same thing. They're like, "Oh, I wasn't expecting that. I was thinking of like a..." Well, I think what they're thinking, and, you know, poor me on my acoustic guitar or something. You know?
My comeback song.
Yeah, like everything in D minor.
I've become emo.
Yeah, and that's why the intro is cool, you know, because it throws you off, and then it just literally hits you over the head.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, now that I've heard your story, I'm going to listen to it again. I'm sure
it'll make sense.
Not make sense, but it'll have a different meaning.
Yeah.
Because when I first heard it, I was just thinking, oh, this is a song about someone driving in their car.
Wow.
Or something, right?
Okay.
Like just having a long, like it's just been like, or maybe a relationship or something.
Okay.
Like, you know when you listen to a song,
that's the best thing about
music,
music,
just
though,
capture a vibe, but you don't really listen that intently. Like you just, this is this kind of vibe song, right? Mm-hmm. And then, I mean, maybe 2 or 3 times you listen to something and you're like, oh, hang on a minute, they're actually singing about something else, and I didn't even hear that the first start, right? Which is cool because it can have all different meanings at different times.
But even then, like, you can be completely off with what they're singing about, but it's what it means to you.
Yeah.
You know, so that's cool.
Yeah, it's good. Yeah, and so what's next for you then?
Just rehearsing to be able to play a show.
Yep.
That'll be the next step.
Yep.
Yeah.
And what do you prefer, or what do you do in the like? Obviously you can play all these instruments. Yeah. Like, what do you prefer to do?
Oh, I definitely just play guitar and sing.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. The best ones.
Well,
not really.
Well, it depends, you know. It's what you make of it. Phil Collins, he played drums and sang.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's hard to do that at once, though.
I actually haven't tried playing drums and singing at the same time. I don't know. Maybe that
might rewire your brain.
Or undo everything I've done.
Yeah. Oh no, I've gone back to.
Yeah.
But so because that's something that people struggle with when they first start learning, right? Is doing the 2 things at once.
Yeah.
And I always found, like, if I ever learned one thing by itself, and then I tried to impose the other thing on top of it, it was harder than if I'd just done the 2 things at once together.
Okay.
Did you sort of think about that in your, like, You know, did you just go, okay, I'm only just going to play acoustic guitar or play guitar and not try to sing and play, or did you just do what you wanted?
I've only just started, because obviously recordings, you do the drums,
Yeah.
you can do the bass, you can do the vocals. So now I'm getting to that point where I'm sitting there and playing and singing at the same time, which I could do, but now I'm getting thrown off still. But yeah, it's nice having the song out, because it's a good reminder that when things get a bit shit, I can listen to it and go, well, I got that down, and I
Yeah.
didn't think I was ever going to get there, so
Yeah.
I just keep pushing on, and I'll be able to sing and play Genesis.
Yeah. You don't have to receive that. You don't have to take that on.
It's no one can get that.
It's an impossible dream.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So it's. I mean, it would be interesting if you had sort of rediscovered music and then maybe discovered a different genre, or you were like, oh, I don't
Now
like that
I play
anymore.
reggae.
I'm going to do opera, reggae or something. Just become
I'll do that next.
a different thing.
But I like putting. Well, funny you should say that, actually, because, well, this is the thing. I forget a lot of things. I've recorded a lot of other stuff at the same time, and I'm doing this kind of meditation music,
Yeah.
but it's rock and roll.
Oh wow, meditation rock.
Yeah, I'll show you some. It's cool.
Yeah, awesome.
Some of them go for like 20 minutes.
Yeah.
And they just real what's the word? You know, you got the mantra going through it the whole time, so it's got all the elements of proper meditation.
Yeah.
But just the way I approached drums or bass or the guitar. I did a lot of looping.
Yeah.
So I just built up on the loops.
Yeah.
And then kind of put some frequencies in there that kind of work, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's a big thing. Like, a lot of people like binaural beats for like sleep or pain or...
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah, it's quite useful, right?
Yeah,
and maybe
absolutely.
that's part of the healing. The sound, like,
Yeah.
you know, I've never gotten into this, but like, you know, the bowls, the singing bowls,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
like that frequency that's resonating with you. What is that doing
Yeah.
to your body, right?
Yeah.
Like,
it's all something.
yeah,
For sure.
I don't know if this just... I'm just throwing this idea out there. I don't know if it's a thing or not, but maybe when you were like when you're doing that brain rewiring, right? Like they often say you've got to just repeat the task. Like, so it's, you know, how people have to learn how to feed themselves or lift up a cup or something like that.
I did that. Yeah.
So as you're doing those repetitive things, like possibly because it was about the frequency going on as well, the actual music there, like was that actually helping your brain to, like, that would be something so cool to investigate as a thing, right? Was that helping your brain change itself more?
I think it did.
Yeah.
Yeah. I could, because I was getting better. And yeah, recording, it's just take after take after take after take. So, yeah. I was rewiring my brain through music.
Yeah. Yeah, so interesting, because it's a kind of a field like music therapy. You've probably heard of it.
Yeah, yeah.
That's not really utilised properly, I don't reckon, in
Oh,
society.
not at all.
Like,
No.
it's kind of a thing that's like, oh yeah, these people are here if they could be used, kind of thing. But it's not
Token.
Yeah, it's not really utilised how it could be utilised. Yeah. And I mean, and also another big one is like the quicker you get into it, like, 'cause like with stroke recovery and stuff, the quicker you start,
Okay.
the more chance you've got of recovering.
Yeah.
And that's got to do with motivation. So if you were like, oh, so motivated, you wanted to recover, like, you know, versus, you know, when it's really sad when elderly people have a stroke and they just don't feel like there's anything to
look,
go
I
on
relate
for,
with
right?
that as well. I didn't get up every day and bounce out and be like, I'm going to do this, you know. There's weeks where I didn't touch a guitar or do anything, you know, because I physically couldn't get out of bed without my head feeling like it was in a clamp. But, yeah, still a journey, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But hopefully, like, I mean, your story must be inspiring to thousands of millions of people around the world, like, that have, like, maybe going through a similar situation.
Yeah.
And I hope they can get that from your song, like, cause
Oh,
it's
me
a
too.
massive thing. Right?
Yeah, it'd be
Like,
great because I think it wasn't an aim or a goal of mine to, because I get messages from people
yeah,
and they say, oh, man, thanks for this, because if I get down, I just think of what you went through and blah, blah. And that wasn't what I've said. I'm just living my life, like trying to get one foot in front of the other. I've totally forgot what I was going to talk about. This is part of it.
that's okay.
It's so
right.
annoying.
Yep.
Where were we
Well,
going?
people that send you messages, and you weren't intending for that to be part of it. Like,
Yeah.
when
I've
like
totally
being the
lost
inspiration for other people. I guess.
That's it. Okay, so with that, oh, it's going again. This is what happens.
That's okay.
Oh my God. That's it. Okay. I got to say it really quick, else I'm going to forget. I had no one that I related to when I got out and kind of started researching what happened to me. I couldn't find a musician who had gone through it, or someone I could relate to and kind of hang on and go, all right, well, if that person can do it, I can do it. And I'm not trying to be that person, but if I am that person and they get something out of it, that's amazing.
Yeah.
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 I think it's just an inevitable consequence of it happening to you that people can draw strength from that, and no one wants to go through a difficult situation so that they can be a person for others
I don't recommend doing
draw
it.
strength from. Yeah, if you're looking for song ideas,
It's 2 stars.
You could go through an arduous process for several years, and
just go the tried and true road and just break up with someone and write about it.
the Phil Collins way, and you'll get another album. Yeah, awesome. Oh, I'm so I feel so honoured that you'd share your story on our show.
That's okay.
And it's amazing, and I wish you all the best and the success with your certainly for your single release, but
thank you.
For whatever's next. And,
reggae.
Yeah, reggae.
Yeah, a Phil Collins reggae cover band.
Maybe that will help you.
Imagine Phil Collins with dreads. He'd have one dread at the back. If he hears this, I'm sorry, because I think he is amazing. Yeah. That's the only reason I take the piss out of him, because he's so
He
good.
is amazing, and that's why I said that to you as a compliment.
Yeah.
Thanks. Well, he's the only person I know that's played all the instruments like that as something so that feels live.
Yeah.
Like that.
Okay, fair enough.
That I can think of.
I'll take it.
Anyway, at least you know who he is. Like, Bill really.
Who?
Yeah, but I mean, like, as in, you're showing your age sometimes. Like I was talking to someone the other week, and they were like, they didn't know who Lauryn Hill was.
Oh.
And I was like, the Fugees, and they were like, who?
One time. Yeah. I love Lauryn Hill.
Yeah. So, anyway, it was so great to talk to you, and
thank you.
Yeah, I don't want to to stretch you any longer with your
Phil
great
Collins
capacity. We've run out of Phil Collins jokes. We're gonna have to go. That's all we've got time for, everyone. But yeah, I really want to encourage people to go and check out your music. Stream it on Spotify. Follow on Spotify. That really helps independent artists.
Share it.
Sharing it and streaming it on the release day and all around that time, like the release month, sharing it and streaming it. And what else actually really helps is if you put the song in a playlist that you regularly play, or you might share that playlist to other people. That's a really good thing to do, because it helps Spotify kind of notice that other people are noticing their music, and then they're going to share your music to other people.
It's all about algorithms and fun things like that.
Yeah, awesome. Yeah. All right, thank you very much, and we'll see people again on the next show.
Cool.
Thank you.
Thank you.